Tailspire.
Oh, I gotta listen to my own voice first thing in the recording.
I like trying
Got
to
him.
get the the recap in for the recording.
All right, just let me know.
Yep, we should be all set.
Okay, so last time the session began with Kino having descended into the ruins and soon discovered two explorers trapped within a magical holding cell within the enchanted hallways. With the rest of the group converging, they search the magical dungeon to find a workbench, hallway, and shelves. The prisoners, Whirl and Kylena, had been teleported into a prison cell when they tried to cast a spell in an adjacent hallway. They used acid to break down the bars of the cell, freeing the captives, who aided us in investigating the dungeon. Kylena explained her connections to the Harpers and her mission to retrieve a relic of Mistral. Scouting forward, we found it in a room, and Grin absorbed its power, harnessing some of the wild magic within it, causing the dungeon, which we found was not a ruin within the mountain, but rather a demiplane to Mistral, the goddess of magic who predated Mistra. Making a hasty retreat, everyone escaped from the collapsing demiplane unharmed, as we were spit back atop the hill overlooking the town. A huge pillar of light shot from the portal we had used to enter the ruins, so we teleported into the woods on the outskirts of the town to distance ourselves from it. Upon doing so, we were joined by Fentrix, who was on the verge of death and filling us in on the fight that had transpired with him and his friends. He told us to prepare for them to be teleported in by Hallister Blackcloak, now commanding the Zentarum, and sending them to retrieve the Codicil of White. We ended the session by starting the walk back to Grin's parents' house and Fentrix casting the spell Fine Steed.
Cool. Yeah, we'll start right where we left off. Let me. I don't know if it's summoned everyone, so hold on 1 second. Let me do it again.
So Grin and Henri were actually running way ahead of
Yep.
everybody.
Yeah. So you guys were over here with your miniatures. Yep. Back to town.
And I'm walking with Fentrix because he's still pretty hurt.
Yep. Go ahead and put everyone put their miniatures where they think they really are.
Well, I'll let you go first there, Tyler, because I don't know where we would be.
Okay. I'm still loading into Tailspire.
You're good, you're good.
Chris, are you gonna be screen sharing?
Yep. Yeah. I'll put you in here.
And then if you need me to move Amber's character, if you don't have Tailspire, I can do that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll give it to access. Yep. Yeah, you can just tell Fentrix where you want to be, Amber, and we'll make that canon, wherever that is. Okay.
I think I actually need a mini on this map.
Nope, you should have one.
You're there. You're the knight.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
you
go.
have-
I'm all the
yeah.
way out there.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
Oh yeah, we're like in the boonies.
Yeah. If you remember, you guys were dropped off here. So, um, I will give. Cool. Yeah, just kind of place your characters where you think they are. I know where Grin and Henri are.
Okay, I'm trying to like place myself in between them and where we are now, and I don't know which way they
Yeah.
ran off to.
I will say that brother will probably just keep close to the rest of the group.
I'm
Do
gonna
you
give
see
you.
Grin?
I'm gonna give you access to brother. By the way, I'm gonna
Okay,
give you
perfect.
access to brother.
Thank you.
Myself in between.
I got Grin up in the air if you see him.
Yeah.
I can't adjust the camera anymore. I hate this.
They had their first Tailspire
Yeah.
session in Dimension 20 last week, and it looked really cool. The Hero Forge edition.
Yep.
I'm really excited about it.
Yep.
Oh,
We'll see when that actually gets done. I have the assets. What I did they actually show like the Did they actually show them creating the character? I haven't seen it yet.
They didn't do a character creation. No, their characters were just already in the game.
Yeah, because right now what it looks like is it actually does work with the Hero Forge tool, the importer, and even though it's up in the air right now, it looks like all you're gonna have to do is pay for I guess they have a premium version of that tool. You pay for that, and then you're kind of good to go, which is awesome. I was really afraid they were gonna make you like charge you $6 for each character, which would have really sucked. Um, but it looks like it's just gonna be a subscription, which is good. And they're they don't get a choice. The Tailspire guys, they don't get a choice. It's Hero Forge is going to dictate all that, which is good and bad, I guess.
So it'll be a subscription for.
Yeah, I guess Hero Forge already has this. Hero Forge has some kind of subscription, I guess.
They do,
I haven't
yeah.
been on the site, yeah, and I guess it's tied into that. And as long as you pay for their subscription, there will be a number of minis that you can make. But I think it's right now it sounds like it's like crazy, like 30 or so, which is a lot. And then if you need more, you might have to pay a tier subscription, or they're just going to make it that subscription. Originally, they were saying, nope, we're going to pay like I forget what it was, like $4 for every one. I was like, that's so stupid. That's nobody will do that. But it looks like it's better now. So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, I have the Hero Forge Pro subscription already because I use
think
the
that's
portrait mode.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. I think it's that. It's the whatever their most expensive subscription is.
Oh no, the
That's
most
one.
expensive subscription is the Hero Forge Pro plus download, which is $15
That
a month.
I believe that is what they are using, unfortunately, unless it
Yeah.
changes. Yeah, yeah. But at the very least, like they were really thinking of like being like total jerks and like yeah, every time that they were gonna have like a special thing where like every time is $3.99, which would be ridiculous. I mean, that would be so ridiculous. Like, but anyway, so I believe it is the $15 a month one though, but I guess we'll see. But I'll definitely get it. I mean, the cool thing about it is that it's more than just like if it's as long as it's unlimited, it'll let you create enemies too, which is awesome. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I already use Hero Forge for that. Like just the
yeah,
photo booth mode. It's
yep,
perfect for it. It's great.
yep, yeah. So, I've also heard some shitty stuff like it's not going to be all assets in the beginning, and they might even charge you for asset packs for special things. But hopefully, that's not the case.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, they've gone back and forth on that a couple times. So, but it's not locked like that now, right? It's not like there's special weapons that you can't use, right?
When
Or is
stuff first comes out, you have to have the pro subscription to use it, but then when it gets replaced by the next new thing, it goes to the regular. Like the pro you just get first
Gotcha.
access, but then later it becomes part of the regular
Yeah,
inventory.
they tend to
I am
only
gonna buy it. I mean, I am gonna buy whatever it is. $15 a month is kind of dumb for this, but it is what it is. It's fun, you know. That's like that's literally I think the Hulu subscription right now, and all you're doing is importing characters. But it is what it is. But it will be very cool though. I'm looking forward to it too. Like there was a long time where this wasn't going to happen and everything because they were super afraid that like somehow there was still liability on Tailspire side, but looks like they worked all that out obviously. So did they show the custom monsters yet? I think when
They
they show them, I can use them. So
they did show some custom monsters. Yeah, they had some kind of freaky blink dog displacer beast mutant.
cool. All right,
I
awesome.
forget what they called it in the game, but it was basically the blink dog and a displacer beast got fused together, and it looked awesome.
Cool. All right, cool. All right, so guys, is this where you are canonly? Everybody over on this side?
Yeah, I'd say so because we were in that far back corner and we had only started walking right before the session ended, so we can't really be much further up than we are.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess honoring Grin, what are you guys doing right now?
Well, Anu is in Grin's
Um,
backpack.
Okay. All right. So Grin, what are you doing?
So as soon as Grin realized that the Zentarum were in his village, he just started sprinting back. But now that he's gotten back to the village, he's not exactly sure where he was going or what he was going to do. he just like panicked in a moment.
Yep.
But for now, I think he would like to go back towards the mine to see if anything is like happening. You know, like if what had just happened caused some kind of commotion.
So, as you start wandering back, once you get to around here, and as you start wandering back to the mine overall, you notice that the mine is currently crawling with those soldiers. They're all over it. They're also stationed all around the areas here. Um, you can't determine how much time has passed through this, although it must be semi-recent. But you have guards now basically swarming this entire area. If you do like engage them, I'll start going through it. But from where you are, Grin, like if you're here, you can see at least 45 of them, and there's probably more than that. And they've started to case the perimeter too. At any point, you're going to get also seen by these guards. So walking right up because the guards like extend all the way down to. I'll place one for you so you can see what I'm talking about. The
Who
guards already extend all the way over to like here. So, and they're surrounding the entire thing. They're basically looking for something or investigating, but
when you said here, I don't know where you're pointing.
oh, sorry, it's over here, where the light is.
Gotcha.
You can
Gotcha.
probably
Okay.
see it now with line
Yep,
of
I can
sight.
see it.
They're swarmed the entire area though. There's 40 to 45 guards just in that in like the entire like thing. So when you walk up, once you start walking up and getting line of sight past this wall here, that's where you start to see all these guards that are just flooding this thing.
Who's this
Or
little
by
fucker right
guards, they're really just heavily armed men, by the way. They're not really guards. So.
here? And they're definitely not like town guards, right?
No, these are the same men that you saw before in the encampment.
Right.
A matter of fact, I'm not even sure that you saw them necessarily, although you might have. But
I think I
they're
did.
the same. You saw the robed individuals. I don't know if you ever saw the armed guys in the camp. Maybe you
Yeah,
did.
we looked
But
over into the camp from on top.
yeah, that's right. So Grin, if your character saw that, he would recognize that it's the same. These are the same guards. And they have the same kind of like colors and cloaked emblem as the wizard that you saw over in the church area as well.
Okay, and who's this little fucker?
This guy here, let me see. Oh, that's a leftover. He's not actually there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yep. Yep.
So if there's guards on the road too, like
They're starting
forming
to
a
go through
perimeter.
it. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a stealth check anyway. If you care about being seen, now that you have run into this and now seen, go ahead and make a stealth check just to see. This is, of course, if you care.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he would try and like walk up casually and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Okay, yeah, you can do that. So,
Grin. Okay, before I do that,
yep,
Grin is gonna propose that idea to Henri and see what she thinks about it.
yep.
What
So you
idea?
skirt over. Yes, you scoot over to the wall, not to be seen, um, and you start talking to Henri. While
Henri,
that's happening, guys, real quick, while that's happening, right next to you, Kino, something you see like this very bright, almost like star, but it's of course the middle of the day, and a small, maybe meteorite, maybe something else, slams into the ground next to you and Fentrix, um, and is sitting there smoldering.
I just hold up a hand for everyone to stop, and I'm going to divine sense.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea. I'll do that one too.
Yep.
Well, we
I could
sure.
use a detect magic as well.
Yeah. Do you want to hit detect magic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, uh, the object itself is magical. It has enchantment and transmutation magic assigned to it. You go ahead and do define sense, and you sense nothing.
All right, I don't want to touch it, but I just want to kind of get close to it, sort out. I just want to get eyes on it.
Yeah, it looks like a tiny like tower made of obsidian. You don't exactly know like what this is. It's around 8 inches to 9 inches tall. and the girth of it is around like 3.5 inches. So this is a sizable thing, but it looks like a like a replicated tower almost like a wizard's tower or something. Um, this is also it's also like a very deep obsidian, but it has purple inside of it. Like for instance, it's a very deep black, but you can already tell by the light hitting it that it's like see-through purple in some areas and maybe purple in other areas if you shine it up to the light. It's very ornate. So not only is it's not just like a straight up tower either. So this thing is 9 inches. It's designed to look like some very elaborate maybe housing for a wizard of some kind. So it does look like it's a cylinder, but there's all these little like windows and alcoves and other things that make it look pretty ornate. And I'll show you a picture later. But essentially, it's this like 9 inch miniature version of like this purplish, very dark glass tower.
All right, uh, I will use Mage Hand and I will just lift it out of the crater.
Okay. Yeah, you lift it out of the crater, and nothing happens. But it does like glow slightly like purple and hum.
Yeah, I've gotten hit by enough magical things for the day. We might want to keep that as far away from us as possible.
I also feel like we can't just leave it here.
Is there any like note or anything?
There's
Do I see any
nothing.
writing?
There's nothing.
Can I cast detect? What is it? Good and evil, right? That's the name of that. So yeah, detect evil and good.
You can. Yep.
Uh, before we get into investigating this, I think it's important that we, unless we do an identify, I will use Mage Hand. I'll just put it in my hands.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it just shimmers. It literally just shimmers and glows. You can tell that this item is somewhat like powerful and arcane, but there's nothing. You'd have to spend time with it or do something with it to be able to figure this out. And then we'll cut to you guys, Grin. So Grin, what did you want to say to Henri?
I was gonna propose the idea of like walking up casually and being like, "Hey, guys, what's going on?" Over trying to sneak in to see what's going on because I have disadvantage on stealth.
Yep.
I'd say probably we should go and try to talk because neither of us is very good at sneaking, and if we get caught, that might just make things worse.
True, and I think we're both good at playing dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys want to go walk over real quick?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So as as you get to or like as you turn the corner and get to here, as soon as whatever these soldiers see you, and one of them is standing right here, he says, "Halt! Who goes there? This area is quarantined, off limits."
Hi, I'm Grin. I live in this village. What's going on? What happened?
Several days ago, there was a major magical disaster, and we're picking up the pieces. But citizen, I need you to get far away as possible in this. It's dangerous.
Wait, many days.
He
Uh,
says, "Yes, yes. Were you here when the disaster struck?"
Uh, out of game question, Chris. Wasn't there like a big like beacon coming out of the mountain when we left?
That's right. That's correct. It's still coming out of it.
Grin's
There's
gonna
still a
put
giant light. There's still a giant light coming out of the mountain. Yeah.
Grin's gonna point at it and be like, "Well, that wasn't there a couple days ago. What's that? What's going on?"
He said he looks at you very confused. All right. And he is apparently very good at this and says, "Wait, what do you mean a couple days ago?" Like he says, when did you see that? What do you mean it wasn't here a couple of days ago?" Now go ahead and roll. So Gren, you can tell that he is trying to just get information out of you. So the next thing you say, um, you can know that going into it. But if you're gonna try to deceive him, you're gonna have to make a roll.
Can I roll?
Otherwise, you can just try to deceive him naturally and not roll. That's fine too.
Can I roll insight first?
Well, so he's already rolled insight, so this is your basically counter roll to this. So you can roll insight on what he's saying for sure. But he's still going to try to get information out of you no matter what happens now. So, but you can try to figure out why he's saying this, and you can do
Yeah,
that with insight. Yeah, of course.
I'd like to do insight just to get a better read on
Yeah,
his vibe.
yeah. Go ahead, go for it.
Never mind.
Yeah, this would be confusing to you anyway. You're very confused about this whole situation. You don't really know what's going on.
Story of Grin's whole life.
So Gren, you can tell though, and anytime somebody is you can tell he's paying extra close attention to your next answer. What would you like to tell him?
Well, I haven't, okay. I used to live here as a kid, and I just got back like yesterday. And when I got back, I feel like I would have noticed a light coming out of the mountain.
All right, so so okay, so what he does is he ends up holding his hand up, and he calls some more guards over, and he jumps down, and he says, "Wait, what was that? You came here yesterday and you didn't see the light?"
Yeah, I guess maybe I could have missed it.
He says, "I don't know how, as the light's been up for 3, 4 days now." And
Well, you know us orcs.
yeah, go ahead and roll deception. Go ahead and roll deception like you're playing dumb now.
Is he inciting again, or is this the same insight as before?
This is all the same.
I got a 16.
Okay. He says, well, that doesn't really make sense to me that there's no way for you to kind of like miss this. It's like, is there something else going on here that you'd like to talk to us about? You weren't involved in anything here, were you? Or maybe you didn't come here yesterday?
Well, if I knew more, why would I be coming up and asking you what's going on? Wouldn't I just know?
He said, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't. Does it look like I have anything to do with it? I mean, look at me.
Yeah, he says you look kind of. He said, "Listen, when did you actually get here again?"
Let's see. And he's gonna make a big show of like looking like he's trying to remember real hard. Let's see. I guess it wasn't technically yesterday. It was like the night before, but we came in really late. We've
Yeah,
been
he said,
traveling for like
"Oh,
weeks.
so
We're
he
so
said so you
tired.
came in. Yeah, you came in during the night. You couldn't have missed this then. So that's strange. There's no way
I
you
don't
would
know.
have
Like I
missed it.
said,
The lights were.
we've been traveling for like weeks. We were exhausted when we came in.
He looks at you, Henri, and he says,
I
you
am
care
not
to?
peeking out right now. I have been in the
Oh, you're
backpack this
in the
whole time.
back. Okay, so you're not saying anything. Okay, that's fine. Um,
As soon as Grin tried to pull the look at me, do I look like I know anything? Anu was like, I am not showing myself right now.
okay, no, that's fair. And he says, well, he says, so he brings over a bunch of these guys. They've started. There's 10 of them now going around you. He said, so, and what was your name again? We're just gonna need you to like register with us, and we don't want you to leave town or anything.
My name is Frown.
Brown. Okay, it's a strange name. He
Well,
says,
are
and
you familiar with
and
orc culture?
where are you staying exactly?
At the inn here, right behind me.
Oh, he said good. Yeah, we'll cross-reference that. Perfect. He said good. Good. And you see that there's like several guards that or whatever these guys are have gotten to the inn as well. He said, "Listen, I've got important work to do, but I wouldn't leave if I were you, and I mean it."
Well,
And you can
didn't you
tell
just
he
tell me
doesn't.
to leave?
No,
Didn't you say it was?
I mean the
We should.
town. He said, "I want you to leave the area. Obviously, it's dangerous here, but
Well,
do
how
not
far
leave
back
the
should I
town."
get?
He said, "Going back to the inn is fine. Go back to the inn, and
So we don't need to
just
like
wait for us there."
evacuate the town or anything.
He said, We don't know yet. We're still looking into this."
And who are you guys?
He said, you mean like our names?
No, like who are you with?
He said citizen. We're with the town.
I don't think that's true.
He said, excuse me? He starts walking over to you. What did you say?
You just don't look like you belong here.
He said, no, the town hired us to be here.
Hired who?
Hired us.
Who's you?
I don't have any qualifications to tell you who we are. Citizen, if you want to know more, go talk to the mayor. Leave me alone.
What's your
No, I
name?
mean it. He said, my name is Darn. And he said, I mean it. If you leave town, there will be trouble.
Trouble
You can
for
tell
who?
these guys, and you can tell, Grin, these guys are not as powerful as you, but these are actually pretty capable people. They're definitely not as powerful as you guys, but you are surprised at how adept these guys look now that you can see them up close. And their gear is outfitted well. They look semi-capable. They're not close to you, but you could probably take like 10 of them. But who knows if you could take 50 or 100 of them? You're not sure.
Are you threatening me?
He does look like he's threatening you. He basically is telling you not to leave.
Well, Grin
And if you
asks
do,
that. He kind of stands his ground and says, "Are you threatening me?"
he says, I am absolutely telling you that you cannot leave at this point
On whose authority?
on our authority.
And who are
And
you?
yeah, and he doesn't say anything at all. It's just that now you've got a crowd of people too. So here, let me get these guys.
This is why Grin is not the face of the group.
No, the village is quaint.
It
Yeah, there's
was.
10 of them.
I don't know.
And
Well,
as they start to come up, he starts relaying like the stuff you said and the fact that you came into town but um, didn't somehow see that there's been a glowing light up for 3-4 days. So
Yeah, look, it's just really hard for me to be intimidated by a group of people who I don't even know who they are.
this guy comes out and he says, "Why do you need to know who we are, citizen?"
So I can know whether or not I should give a shit about what you tell me to do.
Yeah, he looks at this guy as if he's not really sure if they should just like arrest you now or like take you or fight you. They're
Let me
going back and forth. Yeah.
let me ask you this: how much is the town paying you to be here and doing this?
He said that is definitely none of your business.
At this point, Henri's gonna like speak up to Grin and be like, Grin, we should go meet up with them, with Kino and everyone again. These people aren't with it.
Fine. All right, we're gonna walk away.
Okay. You notice as you start to walk away, by the way, that they have started to like kind of like basically see where you're going. Um, some of them are like subtly like tailing you, but not in a sense that it's like terrible. So for instance, as you start walking like 50 feet or so, you notice that they're just kind of like keeping in range. They want to make sure that you go back to the end. It's pretty clear.
I want to fight him.
um, would he be within range, like vision of us further down the road? Depending
Yeah,
on.
if you guys are here now, then yes, you
Can
guys
I
will be able to see this.
whistle to wave him over?
Yeah, yeah,
Just to grab his attention.
yeah, yeah. So you'd be able to hear him grin.
Yeah, I go meet up with him. It's fine.
Okay,
All right. I
okay. So
assume you're
as
with
we're
them.
as we're walking away, Anu's gonna peek out of the backpack and like stick her tongue out at the guards.
Chris, the thing is in my backpack. I stuck it
Okay,
in my
cool.
pack before we got into
Cool.
town.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Cool. Okay.
Hey, what's the plan?
Guys, we have a problem.
What's that?
Either some weird time shit just happened, or I was confused about what the conversation was about.
I'm pretty sure some
Uh,
weird time stuff happened.
That's weird. Should we go to the inn?
I mean, I need to lay down. I
Yeah,
want to
let's
take
go
care
to.
of this spell, and then I would like a nap and time to heal.
Yeah, let's do that. And as we like turn to walk in that direction, I'm gonna try and whisper to Kino that we need to be extra careful about ears. They're gonna be listening. They're gonna be trying to listen into us.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go inside. You're gonna go inside the inn and kind of like go back to your room, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong building. I thought
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's over there. Yeah.
and I'm just walking weapons away.
All right, cool.
Private Sanctum should still be up, I think. Oh,
Yeah,
24
Unless-
hours.
unless we're trying to.
No, it's not up anymore.
has
You
it
would
been
go back and
24
find
hours? Oh,
you would go back and find that it's down.
The
time
and
shenanigans.
with a hunch that would make him seem shorter than he actually is.
Oh, they fixed the issue of going upstairs and into buildings now. Love it.
A little bit. Yeah, there's still some problems, but yeah.
Listen, anything's better than it was when we were trying to do that whole like shopping spree with the magic guy, because that was unbearable.
Yeah. Yeah, was bad. Yeah.
I let Henri out of the backpack.
Free.
Is Kino still bright pink?
He is.
Oh shit!
Or she
I know.
is. Kino is still bright pink.
Oh, I forgot to mention that last session. Totally remembered then.
Oh, there's another bug though. Damn it.
Which bug?
The next level sucks, but they have somehow now made it so that the cutout on the third floor doesn't actually work all the way. If you look at my, oh, that sucks. Oh well, at least it's not like the second floor works really well.
Third
But
floor's working. Here, let me see if I can help you with it, because it looks like it's fine for me. Give me a sec to go into your
so you
screen.
check it out. This is
Help
the
you
third
with it.
floor. See,
The issue is your green bar's not high enough. The little
so
green.
look, if the green bar goes up though, the problem is that it kills out the other things. See, but I mean it is what it is. This is built awkwardly anyway.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to go through, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. So I'm sure on the other structures it'll be okay. But all right. All right.
Speaking of the green bar.
And you can now see that you can now see the rafters and stuff. That's crazy. But Cool.
Chris, I'm trying to close this door.
I am too.
here, there you go.
No, like it's elf spellcaster would like to close a thing.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
What time of day is it?
It's roughly the same time of day that it was when you guys left, which you think it was like 4 o'clock or so when you went in.
Mm.
So, but there is no private sanctum in this room at this point.
Ouch.
Um,
Grin.
So I have a thing I need to take care of for the next couple minutes. If you guys need me, I mean, obviously I'll still coherently be here, but I'm just gonna cast this spell over in this corner by myself and take care of that while you do
Okay.
whatever you need. And
Henri-
now that I have the time, I'm gonna start to cast Feinstein. So I gotta do it for like I think it was 10 minutes. Yeah.
So I'm going to say first we have to check and make sure no one's listening in on into us. Is there a way we can do that?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
I mean, I can cast Private Sanctum again. I just need to switch it out of my spellbook. Switch it in.
Yes, please.
I've got another thing I could do that would last for an hour, where we could just use our minds to talk to each other.
I think that only works person to person, though, and I'd like to talk to the whole group.
Oh no, I've got a big one.
Well, we don't need to brag. Let's stay on topic.
I got a powerful spell I can cast real quick that would give us an hour of up to 8 people telepathically communicating.
Okay, either way.
Well-
That sounds cool too.
Because if I do Private Sanctum, we have 24 hours of not being able to be listened into.
I mean, I'm good either way. I figured I'd throw it out there.
Henri, can you put Private Sanctum up? Because I got a message last night from CO that we still have to talk about.
Okay. I'm going to sit on the floor and I'm going to switch out one spell for Private Sanctum.
Tyler or Tom, can I get one of you to roll a d4 for me?
What's it for?
I have 4 animals that I'd potentially summon with Find Steed that I'm torn between, and I want one of you to decide for me.
3.
Let's the ambush drake making its return then.
Uh-oh.
The re-return.
So once the Private Sanctum's up, I'm going to relay the conversation I had with that guy to the rest of the party.
Yep.
Am I able to see like their uniforms from this window that I'm like right next to? Would there be any of them close
Yeah.
that we'd be able to see?
Well, once Private Sanctum's up, no. Private Sanctum will like shroud all of that. You won't be able to see in or out. I believe Private Sanctum makes it like black, essentially, and hazy. But before that,
Dark
doesn't
and
it?
foggy.
Yeah, dark and foggy. That's what I thought.
That's fine. 'cause
But
I-
before that, you could have made a perception check. So go ahead and make a perception check out the window.
yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Where's perception? There it is. Oh, that's an 8.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that you notice is that the colors are similar to the guys that you left,
Oh, well.
obviously. But other than that, yeah.
Let me do it the way it's supposed to be because I only have an eye now. So let me roll that with disadvantage to see. Then it's worse, but
Yep.
it's a 7.
Yep. Yep.
Chris, you had said that Kylena and Whirl recognized their uniforms, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so Kylena is going to ask Grin if he really didn't know who they were, or if he was just trying to get them to admit who they were.
I don't know who they are.
You
Well,
can
I'll-
tell them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
Oh, it's the Zentarum.
I don't think Grin knows who that is.
Wait, I thought the whole point was Grin running towards them because he knew the Zentarum
Oh,
were...
right. We just learned that last. Sorry, it's been a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, you know that the
You kind,
Zentarum.
you, but to be fair, Grin, you don't know much about the Zentarum other than what she said, so you might want to know more about them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think trying to remember what happened last session. I think Grin started running back because Fentrix said that his previous party is coming with the Zentarum.
Yes.
So the idea that the Zentarum are there doesn't necessarily mean much to Grin because he doesn't recognize that name. But if they're working for someone who's coming for us, that's why he ran back. But okay. So Grin says, okay, so the Zentarum are here already. We kind of knew that, but we didn't see your previous party, right? Like they're not here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got here. They hadn't
Sure.
left. When I left, they didn't even agree to come here quite yet to the leader of the Zentarum. But the consensus was between the group before the fight broke out that that was what they were going to do. If they changed their plans and changed their mind, then they could not come for you guys. But last I knew of, yes, they were coming this way via the teleport somehow.
Okay, it just happened to be the Zentarum were here already.
Probably. My other thing too is I know that they don't know where you guys are currently located. They know one of your last locations, and that's where they were going to be sent, and then they were going to have to hunt you down from there.
Okay, here's the problem. If the Zentarum are here already, and they see you, Fentrix, they could communicate back to the Zentarum that are with your party that we're all here.
That's true. I could
I
also
don't-
just stay hidden.
Yeah, I don't know how well they can communicate over long distances like that, whether it be instantaneously or, they'd have to send a letter. But we need to make sure they don't see you. Because, no offense, but you're a conspicuous guy.
Theoretically, if they were going to be working with somebody who's going to be sending them towards us, wouldn't they have our descriptions? Wouldn't they recognize us? Wouldn't they have recognized you?
They also more so know you guys as like a fairy tale almost, or at least some of you. I don't know how this goes.
I
Like
think the
Neverwinter 7 or something like that. Like that was the story that was thrown around, and I only recognize any part of any of this because of things like
well,
I've
okay.
heard from Kino. So
I think the rest of us might be able to get away with the rest of okay. The rest of us are just like a human, an elf, a half orc. The war for okay, brother is conspicuous, and the one-eyed blue dragonborn is pretty conspicuous. They don't know Whirl or Kylena at all. But yeah, we could be in trouble here.
well, I do have
Yeah.
like fine clothes I can switch into too and try and hide myself. Like I can't hide the wound unless I like cover it with an eye patch, but I could hide the fact that I have what I have on me for the most part.
we
They
have any-
also might know me for a different reason because the Harpers and the Zentarum aren't exactly on the best of terms.
Grin, do we have any other business here in town?
I would just like to go see my parents before we leave.
Okay, I think you should do that. You should do so unseen. Um, if you want, I can go with you disguised. I need to talk about the message that Theo sent me because it's crucial.
I was thinking about leaving my parents with the orc stone that I have as protection.
I don't know that letting an orc warlord loose in this town is going to be any better for them than what would facilitate activating it.
But it would be under their control, right?
Yeah, but then the orc warlord would know about your parents and know the location of where they live. Not maybe
Yeah, I
exactly
guess
on the
that's
map,
true.
but like, wasn't the last warlord you summoned like really mad at you for summoning him?
Yeah, and then I insulted what's his name? Grumsh.
That guy.
Okay, maybe scratch that idea.
So as you guys are talking, and you going back and forth, all of a sudden, in a puff of almost like smoke, kind of, it smells a little sulfuric, but it also smells like lilies, and smells of roses too. There's a small, what looks like paper object or scroll that appears right on this bearskin rug, and immediately when that happens, there's a visage of a man. He's ethereal. He doesn't look like he's there. Um, and he says, "Greetings, my name is Gale. If you're seeing this message, it must mean that you have, uh, well, actually, this doesn't seem like one of those situations. Anyway, I'm sure I did the right thing. I'm sure this spell is working properly. So feel free to ask me anything, but I probably won't have a lot of information given that this is a spell, and I have pre-canned answers for you. That said, see that message in the middle? Be very, very careful with it. Um, Here, take this flute, and as the ethereal thing says that, another puff comes and drops a tiny flute and says, "Play these notes exactly," and the notes sing for you. Someone with performance will have to, for instance, maybe, or do you know any musical instruments? Anyone? Actually, I don't think they're.
I know how to play the flute
Oh, that's
actually.
right. That's right. And the lyre. Yeah, perfect. So, so it's going to be a number of notes. There's four of them. And you'll have to make a performance check, but for you, it'll be very simple to recreate this. And he says, "Play that flute," and he says that scroll there, and he points to it. Very careful, no touching. Uh, Hopefully one of you has mage hand. If not, you'll have to be very, very careful and undo the seams counterclockwise. That purple seam, that thread, counterclockwise. Read the message back exactly, and you should be good. And then he disappears.
Wait, I thought he was going to answer questions. He just disappeared.
It just
Yeah,
disappeared.
what happened to the answering questions
Who
part?
By the
who
way,
was
by the
that?
way, by the way, Out of characters, has anyone played Baldur's Gate 3 at all?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, well so the person that you just saw looks like this. Um, Weird. Hold on. Sorry. It looks like this in ethereal form. And I will point it in Discord, but it is the same character. All of that's canon running on the same timeline as you guys. Here we go. So
Oh.
it looks like an ethereal form of that person, and they disappeared.
Guys, who the fuck was that? What is going on?
I have
don't
no idea.
It's been too much magic lately. I almost liked it better in the tomb.
Why did he
Eh,
not stay to answer questions?
Now
He said he was going to answer
there
questions.
there is a flute, and there's a flute, and there is also some kind of like scroll paper with purple thread binding it. Go ahead, Henri. I think you're the really. It's probably just going to be Henri. Go ahead and do an Arcana check for me.
Oh boy.
Now, my thing was gonna be, and I'm gonna look towards
I'm
Kino.
gonna lucky
because-
that.
Actually, Amber. Actually, I take it
Worse.
back. Sorry, Amber can actually do an Arcana check as well.
I hate this game. 16.
I am also proficient in Arcana. If that
Yeah,
helps.
you wouldn't have any chance at this, unfortunately.
I got a
That's fine.
22.
I hate this game.
Okay. All right. So this is what you know with your 16 on. So you have heard of very 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 high level magic that can be infused and cast with contingencies. And what a contingency is basically if certain things happen, some wizards to protect their own life or to protect certain situations will set these things up as triggers, but the ethereal body or the ethereal message, the messenger that goes through it, is pretty limited. First and foremost, the wizard itself has to go through and do all of these things. He has to like pre-record all the answers essentially, which makes it really difficult because he has no idea what questions people will ask. um, Now there is another step to that you're not exactly sure of, and you have no idea how to cast this. Um, but the thing that's interesting is that this magic was lost to the Netherese. This is Netherese magic. It's Netheral magic, completely lost to anyone currently within Faerun. So Amber, your character would know that you have heard through the Harpers of a specific wizard who you think is actually who they think is not that powerful, that stole an ancient Netherese artifact and didn't really understand how it worked necessarily. And so this jogs a memory, because you were kind of on the lookout for this anyway, because the Harpers were a little concerned that if someone is like playing with a Mythla or playing with other kinds of Netherese magic, that something terrible could happen. The only explanation that you have just seen for what just happened is some kind of Netherese magic that is probably malfunctioning. Out of character, and anyone who's ever played the Baldur's Gate 3 game, Gale does the same thing when you try to resurrect him. So this is hyper canon within the game running too. Only on the set that we know about, obviously, but I've played through like every iteration of it. So
So does it mean that the whole Baldur's Gate plotline's also happening then, or is he just?
no. So Baldur's Gate 3 is happening on your current timeline, 1491 DR. But
Oh,
the
Jesus.
ball child, all that stuff, the ball spawn stuff, that all
Yeah,
happened way in the past. Yeah.
yeah, that's okay. I was gonna say before I forgot what I was gonna say, be careful and directing this towards Kino, what you do touch with Mage Hand, and I'm sure it more so pertains to everything that we all went through in the tomb. But Bryn would touch things with Mage Hand, and he got banished.
No, I
No,
know.
no, Henri. Here's the one thing: Henri and Amber, your characters would know that it is impossible for some wizard that's out there to know any of you or have any. So the fact that there's any tie to you with this Netherese wizard is puzzling to say the least. Or a wizard that found a Netheral object. Like, how are you tied to that? That doesn't make any sense. Mostly impossible. It's not like this guy would know you or scryed you or anything like that. So
No, Fentrix, I know. I was there in the workshop with the soul jar, and I know that Mage Hand is not perfectly safe, but this item that I have in my pack seems pretty safe.
I just figured, as a warning, in
Yeah.
case we had all gone through different things in the tomb, it'd be
Chris, I forget because I'm looking at the item description. Is the Book of Demonic Dragons and Other Various Terrible Creatures, is that, I'm not cursed to want to stay attuned to that, right?
no, you can take it off. You can take it off if you need to.
Okay.
Yep.
I am going to just sit for a second and I'm going to just inspect the tower just a little bit. I'm just going to kind of
Okay.
spin it in
Yeah,
my
while that's
hands.
going through. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to ignore the thing on the bear rug for
no.
now?
So the scroll you said is wrapped in a purple twine.
So the scroll is wrapped in a purple twine, but it's also sewn throughout the top page that's wrapped in it is sewn throughout the entire thing. And he said you'll have to think about what he said, but he did say there was a specific way to unattach it, and you don't want to touch it. Same thing with the flute, theoretically.
So, does anyone know who that was or why we should even care about these things?
However,
Group,
you would
party?
remember. So Peter, your character would remember those notes. There's 5 of them, and you would remember each note, being that
Like,
you can play an instrument.
what's stopping us from just leaving those things on the rug there?
Did Henri know with her pitiful Arcana check that this was a Netherese item, or was that only
Yeah,
Kailana?
yeah. No. You did too. You know that it's some kind of Netherese magic. The recall is some kind of Netherese magic. Neither of you know what this scroll is or what the flute is, but the recall you did know. It's Netheril magic. Um, she also learned that there's this very specific wizard, probably a low-level wizard, that stole or came and acquired somehow some kind of Netheril object, and that's probably him because he just used it. So.
Well, I think we should at the very least see what the scroll is, because we don't want to leave like a potentially really dangerous item in an area that we told the Zentarium that we were staying in, because they might come across it and steal it and use it.
Well, it sounds like if they touch it, they'll die. So,
That also brings me to something that Theo mentioned. Now, Grin, I know you had mentioned previously leaving a small sum of gold with your parents. Theo had just mentioned to me that uh, her group did a similar thing, and they left a small amount of gold with a shopkeeper in one of the towns they passed through, and he had died because it was from the tomb. So I would be very careful if you're going to leave gold that you know you acquired in a major city and not the tomb.
Well, that being the case,
okay, shit. I don't know that I know how much of my gold was from the tomb and
You
how much.
specifically told me that you did not want to take the group's gold and you wanted to pay it on your own. I just don't know how much gold you had if you had to pay through the tomb. I meant to ask you this before last session. Do you remember how much you had?
I'm sorry. You're asking me?
Yeah. Does Tom remember how much gold? Do you remember how much gold your character had before you split up? Because a lot of the gold that you have is split up from the 10,000. Actually, it was more than that gold from things. Some of it was gold that was cut up from like the actual like gold like door that you were going through. But do you remember uh and how much gold again? I can look at my notes, but how much gold again did you send your parents?
I sent them 750 gold.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, no, technically, hold on, wait. I actually didn't give them any gold. I exchanged the gold for platinum with, I think, either Kino or Johnny. So it was a smaller bag of coins.
Yep, you did. That is correct. Yep.
So they don't actually have any gold.
Yep. All right, cool.
But I need to know how much of my gold is cursed.
So any you wouldn't know, but this literally only affects the actual gold coins.
Could I, like, would a detect magic show you cursed
No.
coins?
No.
Is there any way to tell which coins are cursed and which aren't?
Yes, but it requires like figuring out how to. Yes, there is, but Grin wouldn't know how. Brother
I
might, maybe, might not though.
I mean, I posed the question to the group.
Yeah.
I just recently learned how to deal with like minor curse related things. I doubt I'd be any help with it.
Yeah, and brother, if you ask brother, he would just tell you that the best thing to do would be to take it to a church, maybe have a high power, a very like powerful priest or something go through it. But he said there's not going to be anything close to you right now.
Would Kylena be able to figure out like subtle differences between the coins with an investigation check?
So Kylena, you would actually, so Kylena, what they know, actually, Kino, go ahead and explain to the group what happened, I guess, or to go through that, and then Amber, you can decide. You can decide if your character wants to try that.
What CO explained to Kino was as soon as they handed off the actual gold to a shopkeeper, who is a commoner, it seemed to have some sort of curse or inflict some sort of wound to them that was magical that they weren't able to tell was going to happen until it already did. And that's really all she knows. It was magical and it didn't take place until it was already traded.
To do an investigation check, you need to touch it, Amber. So it did not affect the group. It only affected people outside of it for some reason.
But
Could I?
I gave gold to somebody once we were out of the tomb, and I didn't see anything happen. So do you think it's all the gold from the
Yeah,
tomb? Or
you guys don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know. The CEO just told me to keep an eye out.
which, speaking of CO, you're gonna hear a message from her. I want you to ignore everything that's said in that message. Just
No, I heard it. Um, what happened back there, Fentrix?
oh, I mean, I pretty much with who? Like Azrael and them, or
Everything.
uh. So you know how we went to that place? What I've been there once before with Azrael and his sister before she died, and their brother. It's like that weird mansion thing we were doing with Co, where we had our conversation off to the side, and then Gretna came in and spoiled it.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. So after I rested, I woke up, back in the Dale where I had told you we were, in the speaker's home, and he informed our group before we departed to stop all of the sacrifices that were going on there, that somebody was snooping through our belongings. And I went to air everything out, only to find out that Azrael and Ren were looking for the egg. Uh, so they were trying to steal from me, assuming that I still had the egg. So that caused a rift between myself, Valfis, and Peter, and then the other members of the group. Um, Time went on throughout the day. We ended up tracking down the people in charge of giving out these sacrifices. Lo and behold, some things happened, and Bryn just kind of got more and more aggressive to me until he basically confronted me and accused me of being a paladin of Tiamat and said that I was evil, and that you basically used honey words to convert me into.
Kino's eyes just kind of go wide when you just say that.
I basically got accused, more or less, of being a villain.
Well, you're clearly not. Um, I have a question about Azrael.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
haven't seen him since Co brought him in, like very briefly. She brought him back into her group when I was in the tomb. What is he?
He
Because
told me he's an oath of secrets paladin is what he referred to himself as. It's not anything I had heard of beforehand, but I didn't think anything of it. He is definitely full of secrets, and he does try to lie to everybody he can, or at least not tell the truth, which is one of the reasons that caused a rift between us that I think ultimately led to us coming to blows. He assumes that because of my nature and me wanting to do the right thing and tell people the truth, that we just kind of came to blows, and he attacked me.
You also said something uh, when we were in Eberron, that attic
We were in Eberron.
in the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
So you said you had been there before.
Yes.
Who were you with?
Well, I was with Ezreal. I was with his brother Quill, who was our ranger. I was with Gypsy, who was our cleric. Bryn was there too. I think he said something about time magic, that being his specialty. Um, and I can't think of anyone else. Oh, Frederick, our sneaky friend that you would have met when we were in that vault, the Doom Vault. I think you guys called it. That was it.
So I went with a friend there. That was my first time there, and then we saw each other when we were there with Co. Every time I go there, there seems to be a central guest of honor, as it were. Who was the central guest of honor when you were there?
Uh, I think it was Azrael. I think. Yeah, no, that sounds right. He did a lot of
Yeah.
the directing as it was. I basically pushed a lot of buttons. They said I was basically too stupid to help, and I
Hmm.
was only good for pushing buttons when their mage hand wasn't good enough.
What? You said he was a paladin?
That's what he told me. Yes.
Do you know what deity he worships?
No, he was very it's my fault for asking, but basically he just told me that his paladin wouldn't be as stupid as a follower of Soon. So I assumed it was something more ambiguously.
Your
Uh,
old party sounds really mean.
it was mostly him and his sister, and then Rin towards the end, and then I'll kind of motion to the wound on the face. The others are the only reason I'm alive, to be honest with you. Well, Gypsy died in the tomb. That was pretty horrifying. His sister died in the tomb. That was horrifying. But Frederick and Valfus are the only reason I'm alive. Which was going to be a conversation I wanted to have with you guys in a later note. If they do track us down, I don't know if me being around is the smartest thing. I think if I
Yeah.
show my face and they find out I'm with you, it will be really bad for everyone. And I also
Well,
know myself and don't think I can just let something go.
well, if they come here, you can stay hidden, but we're not going to shoo you away. Because if we face them, we're going to face them together.
It would be a bad idea on their part to come for someone in our group.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate that, even if our only conversation was me offering to cut off your hand if you couldn't hand over the Sword of Chaos.
That I understood. You got to do what you got to do.
Well, I would have found a way to put it back on.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I am subtly watching, or maybe not so subtly. I'm just watching Whirl and Kylena as we just mention Tiamat and the sort of cause and Eberron. I'm just watching their reactions.
You'd likely see something when you mention when Tiamat got mentioned. Some of the
Well,
other
and
stuff would probably be like more over my head, and I'd be like, I don't know what that is.
Amber, one of the things you would know is that there is a list of powerful destroy on site or bring back to the Harper's artifacts. The Sword of Koseth, one of them is an intensely evil, potentially world-ending artifact that basically the directions are never touch. Tell us right away if you ever find it. We're going to bring a bunch of mages to take care of it, kind of thing. There are a couple of those artifacts. One of them is the Sword of Cause. So these are things you would know. Oh, you also know Tiamat is the Harpers fight um, cults of Tiamat all the time. Cult of the Dragon was a huge pain in the ass for the last 30 years, less so in the past 3, 4 years. But the Cult of the Dragon has certainly been a horrific enemy that the Harpers have fought. They all worship Tiamat.
So as I notice, watching us, I just kind of, give her a once over and just kind of nonchalantly be like, "Oh, so follower of Tiamat, huh?
And brother's gonna pipe up and just go, "Yeah, she is."
Perfectly in
And
character, Tyler. Like one, very good job.
yeah, I
Yeah.
had to for John's sake. And Kina's just gonna look at everyone. She's gonna look at you and she goes, "I'm not an enemy of the Harpers. I am not a cultist. I'm not a member of the Cult of the Dragon.
Well,
I'm not."
do we know that?
I want to do an insight check.
Absolutely. Uh, I yeah, I'm telling the truth. I have no idea if if there are any. You can kind of tell the topic of Cult of the Dragon is a and she seems to be telling the truth.
So you're not a part of the cult, but do you follow what they do and support the actions that they take?
I don't follow a large portion of what they do. I think that the whole notion of like raising Dracoliches is just a poorly veiled attempt at necromancy and pulling power from other beings and claiming it as your own. I think the Arcane Brotherhood do the same thing. I think that it gives people of the actual faith a bad name, and while doing it subtly, I'm trying to show that it's not all bad. I'm not perfect, and I've done a lot of missteps along the way, and I'm trying. I'm just trying really hard to show that I'm trying to be the person I want to be and not the person that people want me to be.
So they've never done anything that you would support.
I'll be honest, I know of the cult, but I've never worked with the cult. In fact, I've really probably destroyed a lot of the cult's planning, especially when it came to raising undead and enslaving dragons. I don't support that.
Grin's gonna briefly interject just to say, yeah, you're gonna find that any question you ask Kino, she's never gonna give you like a straight answer, like a yes or a no. So just bear that in mind.
I don't hold a rank in the Cult of the Dragon. I don't have a uniform. I don't know any ceremonies. I don't know where they meet. I've never talked to them.
I like you as you are, Kino.
I don't even work with other paladins.
Rude.
Except,
You're working with one right now.
well, yeah, but that's because he's on.
Two,
Well, you don't have
guys,
an oath yet.
You were the one I was thinking of.
Um, but I'm not a necromancer. I'm not a murderer.
Yet.
well,
I don't
that's debatable.
know. Yeah. I think you should probably roll back on the not a murderer one.
We've all technically killed people, though. I mean, it comes with a line of work, right? Like, we're put in the face of like defending others in danger. Sometimes
I don't kill needlessly.
According to
Also,
whose needs?
Needs of the group.
Henri
Who's
will
else?
have been reading into a book this whole time, by the way. She's just like
oh,
not the leveling book, or not the book. It's the crystal, not the book. Sorry, I meant the. She's reading a book into the crystal.
I do have a question for you, Henri. And I'm gonna kind of brandish the necklace I received from the sun card when it disappeared out of my hand.
Mhm.
Are you able to tell me what this does at all? I mean, normally I went to Rin for these type of things, and obviously I can't do that now.
Oh, sure, I can
This.
identify it.
Thank you.
I will ritual cast. Yeah, I'll ritual cast identify.
Yep. And which item is this? I'm sorry.
The
That's
plain
the necklace.
necklace that he got from the
Okay.
sun
Yep.
card.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. While she's doing that, does anyone else want to do anything?
I'll finish casting my spell for Find Steed, and then I think I just need to chill and take a short rest if we're only going to be here for that long.
Brother's just going to stand up against one of the windows, blocking most of the view, and he might even
You
like
can't
throw a
see through
sheet
Pepper
up over.
Sanctum.
Never mind. Then he is just listening and judging silently.
Oh, actually, and to all of you guys, because I think Kino's the only one that was aware of it. Actually, Henri, you know too, that Azrael and Red and all them have the deck of many things. I pulled a card prior to the one that got me here. It's also part of the reason that I got attacked. Ren was like, "Oh, hey, you are too stupid to be left alive. Pretty much, I'm gonna kill you." And
Oh, that's
it
cool.
basically,
You got it from the tomb, right? Because we passed it. It was seemed to be at like the end of a hallway. There was a lot of fire and stuff. How did you guys like get it?
I died.
Oh.
Yeah. That hallway it just kind of drops out from under you, and then it becomes really steep. And I wear heavy armor. At the time, I had a sword in both hands, so I couldn't stop myself from sliding and falling. And Frederick was too weak to do anything to help me and not fast enough. So I saw the deck on my way down. I tried to grab it and kind of kick off the wall to come back. And I grabbed the deck, hit the wall face first, and went straight into the fire.
Oh.
We were in the tomb for like 20 minutes. It happened fast.
Well, at least you made it out.
Oh, that wasn't even the worst one, honestly. I think when I got peppered by crossbow bolts like repeatedly or arrows, that one hurt significantly more.
Okay.
All right. This is the item. So after 10 minutes or so, you go through and
We totally interrupted that conversation that was going on.
that is what it is. All right. You'll be the first to know what this is, obviously. You do know this is Elminster's himself. Like, this is his actual amulet of the plains.
Oh, this is super cool. And she's just gonna like give a not a word for word, but like a brief description of what it does.
Yep.
That's lovely. That's a lot of power to be in one place.
Yeah, that describes this group in general.
Well, as I've mentioned, I am probably one of the lower intelligence people around here. If you guys want to hold on to it instead of me wearing it, because I was going to put it on when I first kind of stood back up before, but if you think you guys would have a better use for it, by all means.
So Henri will explain this is basically a teleport. However, it's a teleport between planes. So and unfortunately, it's actually meant to be used by very, very, very godlike archmage wizards. What that means is that they have the ability to maybe have already gone to a plane once and go through it. With this group, there's you'll have to read the description. There is ways to get to places like Eberron with this item, but there's also ways to die. So this is this item can absolutely kill you.
Chris, I just
But
want to
yeah.
say, the asterisk paragraph is cut off. Is if you decide to use the object attempting to go to a location you have only heard about in the same plane of existence, and it ends there.
Yep. Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Hold on.
Oh, it's a
This
homebrew
is
item.
yeah, this is custom. Chris made this.
Yeah, but what's weird is I should let me copy and paste the text because it actually once you are in the item that
I
you
got
use
it.
the action to locate intimately on another plane of existence, the item can still be used if you've never been to the location. Detail knowledge. It actually cuts off for you guys?
At the end, at the very
didn't
end,
cut
and
off
after the
for me.
asterisk. Yeah, look, to be intimately familiar with the
Oh,
location.
yeah. This is a bug. Okay, it's to be intimately familiar with the location. You must physically have been in the exact spot for more than 10 minutes. If you decide to use the object attempting to go to a location that you have only heard about in the same plane of existence, and let me get you the rest of it. I'll just put it into the item actually. Hold on one second. What it mean, but basically, long story short, it just means that um uh you have to, so that's just defining what intimately familiar with means. Um, so if you decide to use the object attempting to go to a location you have only heard about in the same plane of yeah, that there's a lot that's missing. Damn it. Hold on one second. Let me give it to you because those are important. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know how though. Hold on one second.
We can just like
Yeah, it's
do
fine.
that a
We can do
different
this
time.
later. But
I don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
us to take up too much time.
Once
I
you
just
use it,
wanted, yeah, I just
exactly.
wanted you to know
What?
that.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't. That's a weird bug. Yeah. 'Cause it shows it to me on my items. It just I have to figure out a way to put it in. Yeah.
You might have reached the cutoff for like the amount of text you can have, and that's why it
Yeah,
did.
that I think that might be the case. So I'll figure that out. Yeah.
Just make another item. Amulet of the Plains, Part
Yeah.
2.
Kino's going to turn to Kailena. So I might not actually be on the best training with the cult at the moment because I'm sure the Harpers are no stranger to what they do. They, raise. They're one of the only organizations that can raise dragons to Dracoliches. Well, I kind of depleted their imprisoned reserve of dragon souls so that they couldn't be enslaved.
Well, I'm also not on the greatest terms with the dragon cult either, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I think if we ever run into them, I think it's complicated, and I don't think we should jump to violence no matter who we meet with. Um, I think this is a very gray group in that sense where there's no real good and bad. Um, hopefully, I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. But it's tough. I don't know that much myself, and I recently admitted to this group that I'm going to try and look out for the best. I'm going to try and keep everyone safe, safer than they have been. And she's also going to pull out a small ring of feather falling from her bag. And I've been holding on to this. Probably will find a better home somewhere else.
Is that like a peace offering or something? You're trying to give me a ring?
No, I just meant like the bag of holding or something. We have it in we found it in the tomb. I mean, if you'd like it kind of makes you glow when you attune to it, though. I've
It makes being sneaky harder.
yeah, you seem pretty quiet and sneaky and insightful.
Yeah, glowing would not be good for what I do.
Yeah,
Glowing sounds fun.
she's just gonna probably hand it off to brother, and brother's gonna put it in the bag.
Look, I try not to judge people based on who they decide to follow, worship, whatever. It's your personal decision. As long as you don't try to harm me or my people, we're good.
I have no plans on taking a war to the Harpers. It's just another faction I prefer not to run away from. I want to be on better terms.
I more so meant specifically myself and Whirl, but okay, good to know you're not out trying to kill Harpers.
Yeah. No, I consider you two. Um, it takes a strong kind of person to escape what we just saw back there.
So, should we try to open up the scroll, and see what it does?
I'd like to.
Well, on another note, too, guys, has everybody eaten today? Like taken care? Because like I haven't personally, but
Oh, we
have you
can
all like?
get dinner, like, or we can see if dinner is going to be happening soon.
Well, I mean, and I'll just like snap a finger and then I'll cast create food and water because I can with like my last spell slot, um, and then it'll make enough food and water to feed. What is it? 8? No, 15 people.
I think we should
Ooh.
rest here for a little bit. I think the less we show our face in this town, I think if anyone, I think we send two people to go. One, Grin, and another person to see his parents, and then we should probably think about departing.
Grin eats 3 people's worth of food.
Anu probably eats like half a person's worth.
Well, regardless, there's enough for everybody.
She's trying to eat more though.
And it lasts for 24 hours, so even if you don't need to eat now, if like morning comes, then we can all eat then too, and then you'd be sated.
Ventrix, you want a cookie?
I fixed the item, by the way, guys. Sorry, it was actually just a bug. There is nothing after. You'll see. But anyway.
Fentrix, try one of those fruits.
I don't.
Yeah,
Like
there
sweet.
you go.
I prefer bitter and spicy.
Here, I pull out
No wonder you like Kino.
Excuse me?
What? I'm sorry.
Well, that's. I don't know what you mean by that.
I pull out like an orange-sized fruit.
So an orange.
Well, it's not the same color.
You still technically have, by the way, you still have the basket, and there are still 2 uneaten things in there. It's, I believe, the fruit that you had.
We also have 2 more cookies. I have one, and I think Henri has one.
That's right. Yep.
I was going to give mine to somebody.
I was also going to give mine to someone.
I think Grin?
I had a cookie. I wasn't about it.
Kylena, World, do you like cookies?
I mean, who doesn't like a cookie? But this is a weird conversation about cookies if I've ever heard one.
But we have cookies. That's why
We
we're
were
asking.
Look, I have a special. I hold up like a opalescent iced cookie that changes color.
I kind of feel like the reason that you're pink is because you ate one of those cookies. And
No,
it
it was the
didn't
fruit.
It was not one of the cookies.
Fruit.
The fruit changed the color. The cookies didn't do anything that we noticed.
The cookies were just the best cookie I ever had.
They were so good.
Trying to make me eat fruit that changes my skin color.
No, it's funny though. Eat it.
What does a pink dragonborn breathe?
Honestly, I kind of want to
Bubbles.
know. Give me the fruit.
Yeah, pink bubbles.
Like cotton candy.
Yeah, I'll eat the fruit.
He breathes cotton candy. So he's just vomiting cotton candy.
like BoJack.
I feel like you should be a little more concerned that you're magically pink. Like, does it wear off or is this permanent? Where did
Do you know how?
get this food from?
Do you know how many gods I've talked to? Being pink is like the least of my worries.
Do you take the fruit, Fintrix?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
All right, so Fintrix, go ahead and eat the fruit. So the fruit itself, like once you start biting into it, do you eat it all at once? You take
Yeah.
the whole thing? Okay.
Oh, apples. Eat it all at once.
Yeah. So it's basically the size of an apple, but it's this very like it almost has like a jelly consistency once you start biting into it, almost like candy, but it certainly is a fruit. Once you start to bite into it, this one tastes so it's incredibly sour in the beginning, and then it goes through and it's incredibly sweet, and then it tastes like honey and different other like various sweets that you've had before, and then it gets into it actually goes into like a strawberry flavor, and then it starts to taste like very sweet, amazing wine. And you guys see all this happen too. So this is interesting, Fentrix. Unfortunately, because you are eating this, and I'm not going to retcon it. I know you wanted to have one eye, but as Fentrix eats that fruit, you notice, Fentrix, that you kind of go into pain, and the pain sears out a bit. You don't feel anything else, but you guys notice that Fentrix eye also regenerates, and Fentrix is now purple. You're a very, very deep shade of purple.
Interesting.
Ventrix, you seem to have gained an eye.
I guess that's one way of healing oneself, right?
I think that's a good color on you.
But now you know that the fruit is the same in some ways as Greater Restoration. Very powerful.
Ah, shit. We should have really saved that.
Oh shit!
But anyway, anyway, as it goes through and does that, you are a deep purple though. You're very, very purple all over.
I can't believe we just wasted
Save
both
that
those
last
fruits.
fruit.
Wait, we
Well,
have
yeah.
one more?
Yeah,
We have one more.
one more.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, the only other thing in the entire realms that can regenerate a limb is Greater Restoration.
Christ. Save that last one.
Yeah.
It might also, we don't know, it might go bad in 2 days, 3 days.
At the very
So
least, we should
where
hang on to it.
did these magic fruit come from?
The small elf
A
child.
child? Yeah, a child
A
gave it to
ghost
us.
boy showed up at our doorstep.
And he invited us to a carnival.
He gave us tickets.
To a
Oh,
carnival.
and by the way, you feel your mood is lightened now. You actually feel physically like happy, Fentrix. You feel much happier than you have been in a long time, actually. So
Oh, that's
Fentrix, if you wanted one eye, do you want me to like remove the eye again?
No, I don't want just one eye. I wasn't given the choice. The damned elf cut me down. In fact, if it wasn't for this weird lizard we found, then I'd probably be dead.
Well,
Did it have a dent in its skull?
No. He had a snake in the snow.
Well, now,
That was alive.
well, now you're our weird lizard.
I'll let it go because they threatened to cut off your arm one time.
look, Fentrix, you match my shield, and I hold up my shield that has a purple dragon on it.
Yeah. You're not
now,
wrong.
Fentrix, even your teeth are purple. Just like Kino. Everything about you, your nails, everything is purple. Your entire body at this point is completely purple, including your teeth.
I kind of want to know if my breath weapon would look weird, but there's nowhere for me to try that out.
Okay, so real talk. The plan is now I need to go see my parents and say goodbye to them. I'd really like to stop off and find the old priest in the village. I know that we're kind of on a time limit here, but I don't know when I'll ever come back here. Everyone, the rest of us. I mean, Fentrix, you have to heal up, right? You have to rest.
Yeah, I have, and it's weird to say. There's an issue here. I lost the main weapon I used for fighting, and I'll kind of grab the dancing greatsword and I'll throw it into the air and then speak the command word to make it hover. Like I've got this thing, but I'm pretty much like lost here without like any way to do anything. I have a bunch of words are hard. I'm sorry, which is weird for even me to say, but I have a bunch of knuckle-headed trout that I wanted to try to sell and like whale meat and things like that I bought in the Dale, assuming I was going to be there a while, but I don't really need it anymore. So if any of you like fish,
We could probably sell the chucklehead. Oh my god, words
I didn't
really
see
are
that.
hard.
It's contagious.
We could probably sell the fish once we get to the next city.
yeah,
I'm
I
just
just
not
Yeah.
sure.
Let's focus for a second before we go off on a tangent about fish selling.
the thing was, does this like town struggle with food? Could I just give you the fish to give to your family then, and like stop people from going hungry? Because I can do that if I have to.
No, apparently my town's been doing great. Like it's very prosperous right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Although I appreciate the offer. It seems like since I left, everyone's been doing a lot better. Take that to mean whatever you want. So, okay, we need to get Fentrix out of this town because if the Zentarum see him, they're probably going to alert his old party. And we don't want his old party to be alerted to his whereabouts anywhere near this town.
He's purple now.
That's a
Right.
good point.
Well, I have fine clothes and stuff I can use to hide with. I can take my armor off for now.
Okay, get dressed.
Yeah.
Who wants to come with me to go say goodbye to my parents and then go see the priest?
I'll go with.
Can I come out here to go get naked? Go
Just
get dressed in different. We're all in the
Oh,
same.
and brother would tell you the priest here is not going to help you.
No,
Unfortunately,
no,
you're
no.
old.
I just want to. I shit. I forgot about the cursed gold already. I wasn't even thinking about the cursed gold. I was just
Oh,
going to
then don't
give him
worry.
gold.
Yeah, then don't worry about that. Disregard what I said.
I'll go with you, Grin. I can disguise myself. Um,
Well,
Yeah.
shit. I don't want to give the priest cursed gold. What do we do with all our gold if we can't use any of it?
Find somebody you don't like and give it to them.
yeah.
Like if you know there's someone evil doing something, or like somebody who's not stellar, like a pretty shady businessman, take the exuberant prices they're charging for things. Give them the crappy gold.
Kylena, did you say you could tell cursed gold from non-cursed gold?
I said that there might be minute distinguishing markers depending on how old the gold is. I'm pretty good at investigating things.
We also
She just
know.
happens to know that when she investigates it, she needs to handle it. She needs to like look at it with her
Yeah.
tools and stuff.
I go over to the bed and I dump out all 760 gold on me.
Yeah, but keep in mind this wouldn't just be Grin's gold if that's the case. It's everyone's
Well,
gold.
sure, but right now I'm only concerned about my gold.
Sure. Yeah.
So, well, no, because I'm gonna give a bunch of it away, and I don't want to kill someone when I do that.
Yeah, but Kino, what did you say happened to that shopkeeper?
He died. He died a horrible, painful death, it sounded like. And it was almost instant, she said.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching that Grin. I'm sorry.
You
Did
guys
the
see an ethereal wizard again? It says, "Hi, my name is Gale, and I see that we have left the scroll and we have left the flute on the ground. I'm supposed to tell you that you're supposed to do something with it, but if not, then ask me questions and I will recall the items."
Do,
I want to open the scroll.
Do you
And he
think that
says,
he'll actually
"Yes,
answer the
listen to
question?
the girl and open the scroll."
does
Why are you-
asking you questions automatically mean you're gonna take it back, or can we still open it even if we ask you questions?
"Hi, my name is Gale. You can ask me questions."
oh, we got a recording.
Is the scroll dangerous when it's opened?
Ah, that's a very good question, young lady. The scroll is very, very dangerous if you do not follow my exact instructions on how to open it. First, cut the seam counterclockwise. Do not touch the scroll. Second, play these 4 notes on the flute. And he does notes.
Did he
Which
say 4
notes?
notes or 5 notes? I thought he said
4.
5 notes the first
The
time.
first,
No,
the
it's 4.
first, no, the first time he did actually say 5. You are
Oh.
correct.
What
And
are
he
the
gives you
notes? Like a
these are
C?
different notes. These are different notes. They are actually different notes. Only the only person that would know the notes are Peter, but there are 4 distinct notes.
That's
I
so
would point
weird.
that out. Be like, that's different than what he said last time.
Is the flute dangerous to handle?
He said, "Excellent question, young man. The flute is very dangerous to handle. Use Mage Hand to handle it. Blowing into it is safe."
How many of us know Mage Hand?
I do.
Is that it? Just one?
I never needed to get it because Abel always had it.
Shit.
He said, "For reasons that I cannot explain to you, it is very important that you use my items. Also, if for whatever reason I have died," and he vanishes.
God.
All right, so
No,
I'll lift
no.
it up.
Just out of character, no one has played through this in the video game yet, right? A similar thing to this? No.
I mean,
Nope.
I think I'm the only one who played through Baldur's Gate 3 aside from you.
No. Baldur's Gate 3 is the brand new one that came out. Only the first chapter's
Yeah.
released, but all right, cool. Yeah. Cool. All right, cool.
You
Okay,
worry me,
so
Chris.
I can lift it up. Who's gonna blow it?
Now,
Don't we need 2 people with Mage Hand because somebody has to work on the scroll and then somebody has to play the flute?
now, the actual notes are there's 4 notes, and the notes are D, E, A, and then another D.
Which octave?
Yeah, we're not gonna talk
All
about
right,
that.
hold on,
We're
hold
not
on,
gonna talk about that.
Playing
hold on.
that.
What were the
Something
notes
don't
the
seem
first
right here.
time?
The first time the notes were C, A, B, D, E.
Caved.
Do you think that if he shows up for a 3rd time, the notes will change again and it's kind of like a countdown and eventually we run out of chances to open it?
You see his message come back, and he says, "Hello, it looks like you've ignored my scroll and my flute. However, I also wanted to let you know that if a Memphit comes out of the scroll, don't be alarmed. Just repeat the words that he says exactly. If you don't, terrible things will happen, but I'm sure you'll get it right. And by the way, one last very important thing," and he disappears.
He said an infant was going to come out of it.
Mephit,
Mephit.
Memphit.
like a
Yeah.
little tiny empty.
Grim would think it probably was infant. Yeah, Grim would
Yeah.
probably hear infant. Yeah.
Andre, is that you?
Yeah.
A dangerous baby is going to come out of the scroll.
Well, I for one am just super excited to crack into this scroll. What could go wrong?
Which one are we supposed to do first, the flute or the scroll?
The scroll
You're
goes
supposed to be
first.
No, you're supposed to be playing the flute while
No.
and holding it with Mage Hand while you're cutting the seams. You're
No,
supposed to
he
play.
said the step 1 was to cut the seams, and then step 2 was to play the flute.
Okay.
Could I hear this from the other room?
How long does it
Yeah,
take you to change?
It's open. It's open.
It takes like
Door's
10 to
open.
15 minutes to like get out of plate armor. It takes a while.
Oh well, that's the thing. If you went to the other room with Inner Sanctum up, no.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you cross the threshold, you can't hear anything. Yeah.
Okay,
You don't need to leave while you're taking your armor off.
All right, calm down.
You got clothes under the armor, right? Fentrix isn't naked under the armor.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. But do we want to
I
chance it?
hope I'm not wrong.
Does Fentrix not know?
Listen, to be fair, it was a haze. We killed skeletons, and then as I was in the middle of getting plated up, we were taken out of the tomb. Like, as everyone was helping him put the plate armor on, we got sucked out because Quill was fucking with the crystal.
Fentrix, that's a lot of pinching.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I feel like his skin's pretty tough and can handle it.
Can we focus on this scroll, everybody, and not just on Fentrix getting changed, Kino?
What were you saying, Grin? Sorry.
Should we handle this scroll thing before that ghost comes back for a 4th time?
Yes.
So the directions were specifically cut the seam counterclockwise, but do not touch the scroll. Then play these 4 notes, but the flute is dangerous to handle, and blowing into it is safe.
Okay, Kino picked the scroll up with Mage Hand. Kylena cut the thread. Who's good with a dagger?
Well,
Out of
probably
character,
Kylan is.
Kylena's totally the MVP here, because if you had not remembered these exactly, it would have gone down exactly the way it's supposed to. And I think you and I think Andre are the only ones that have mentioned that. So good catch. But
I think we should keep the scroll on the ground, have Kylena cut it while it's on the ground, and then Mage
Yeah.
hand the flute to be played.
I don't even need to pick the scroll up. Yeah, Andre's right. You just have to cut the string counterclockwise.
Can the seam be cut counterclockwise with it on the ground and without me touching it?
yes, but you are gonna have to make a sleight of hand check. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but somebody really good at that Could totally do it.
What's your sleight of hand?
My sleight of hand is +9.
Yeah, you should probably do it.
I really wish I had high portents. I'm sorry. 7 and a
Um,
4.
Well, we have something that can assist me from one of the party members, right?
Yeah, I will allow brother to give you guidance. He would have done that.
Yeah. Guidance.
That's an
Alright, then.
additional D4 or D6.
D4.
D4.
Yeah, like I said, if I had a high portent, I would definitely point it right now.
Just roll high.
Yeah,
That's
it's easy.
Great,
It's that
thanks.
simple.
Gonna try to do that.
Wait, okay. And Kino's getting the flute ready.
Yep, I'm readying Mage Hand to lift it up to Whirl's mouth so he can blow the notes.
What did you end up getting? 17?
16.
16.
16. Okay. All right. So she goes through and starts to undo all of them, but the very last one, you get caught and you can't actually like sever it. You accidentally also touch the scroll as you're going through it. Otherwise, it would have never severed. As you touch the scroll, give me a Constitution saving throw.
You add a plus. No, Fentrix. You have +5,
I am not there.
right? Yeah, that's right.
Unless
+3 then.
unless Chris rules that I would be back in this time, in which case it would
No.
be yeah. So
Yeah, you're still up.
yeah.
You get a
So you said
+3
it's a
to whatever you roll.
+3 to the Constitution?
Yep. Ignore my roll.
Yes.
Ignore it.
So that would be an 18 with the +3.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you only take half damage from this, but essentially you touch it and it starts to like shear your skin away. It's impossibly hot, but also impossibly like acidic. It's really hard, and basically it almost like takes your finger off. You do take 24 points of damage. You're gonna have to be healed right away for this. It's like jarringly bad. It's to the point that you actually have to like recoil back. It's terribly bad for you. But you were able to successfully do it. It opens up. There is instructions within the scroll. But first, let's go through what people are going to do for you.
What type of damage was it?
It's technically acid damage, even though it's more than that. But it's actually damage from beyond Avernus, but it counts as acid damage.
I was just checking because I have resistance to necrotic damage.
Yep.
And as she severs the last thing, I'm going to.
You hear her. She's gonna have to scream or something because you guys would hear her. This takes you totally by surprise, and it's terrible, terrible. This is a terrible wound. So
Does anyone have some healing magic for that? Because I don't.
it's a brother. If no one else
Yeah,
does,
brother
We have
will.
3 paladins and a cleric. How do we not have a single healing spell between us?
Yeah.
Well,
So
The economy's in shambles.
The action
I'm the
economy
healing
is in
paladin, I'm
shambles.
naked. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
healing paladin. I'm naked.
all right. So as she's getting healed, um, uh, so what's the plan on the flute?
I'm going to. World confirmed that he is going to play the notes, correct?
Yeah. Well, I would ask, do we want to do the 5 notes that said first or the 4 notes he said second?
The four
The
notes
four
he
notes
said
he said
second
second.
Okay.
might reset.
All right. So then
Okay.
when it's lifted up.
Yep. So now, this is how it. So you're going to blow in, and you're going to make a performance check, but you also have to. Who's got Mage Hand right now?
Kino.
All right.
I do
So
have Mage Hand right
you're
now.
also
I'm-
telling Kino before you blow into each of the notes how to do his finger placement on the hole since you can't touch it. You're just blowing into it, but you're going through it. But I'll still let you do the performance check. I'll let you do your own performance check on this. Kino, all you have to do is you have to make a sleight of hand check and don't roll low. This DC is incredibly easy, but you
Okay.
do have to listen to instructions. So
Porton? I have a 7. That's my highest. I'm sorry.
7 plus 0. Wait, are you
Okay.
saying you porting it?
No,
or...
I'm asking if you want me to.
Uh,
Would you rather take your chance?
It's an easy DC, meaning,
just give me the 7.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
That's fine. If you porting it, you porting it. So
Wait, why would you want to portent it to a 7?
Because you can't get any lower than a 7?
Chances are, like, just chance dictates I'm going to roll higher than that, so let me just roll.
Yeah, that's...
Things said moments before disaster.
Yeah.
okay. Are you porting this roll?
I would have had
I
to have
already
done it
rolled.
before she rolled.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? Yep.
4.
Okay, that's fine. That's just 1 under the DC, but that's fine.
Damn it!
So go ahead and do your performance check.
I got an 18.
Aw, couldn't
Okay.
Brother of Guidance that?
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, technically brother would have guidance that, so I'll allow it. That's fine. He would have guidance it if he was here. It's always hard when somebody else isn't here. But brother would have totally guidance that. So
So
you
the
would have
4
gotten the
turns into
5
a
anyway.
7.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you succeed. All right, and you're able to tell him the notes. You play the D, the A, the D, the E, the A, and then the D. On the last note, sure enough, on the scroll, a smoky gray memphit does pop out of it, and it says, "Anyone here speak Infernal?"
I do not.
I do.
All right, right. It's so to everyone else it just sounds like Kreshak yo ya, but to you, you can actually actually like he's saying repeat after me, and he says the name of the All Father is not Asmodeus. And you have to say that back perfectly. Since you can understand it, Kino, you're probably the best bet to say it.
I will say it then. I will repeat it back. The name of the all not Asmodeus.
All right. As you do that, the scroll changes and things start to basically like solidify in golden writing, and then everything vanishes except for the scroll. So the memphit goes away, the flute goes away, but the scroll itself stays there, and is shimmering in like this golden light.
What does it say on it?
Do you want to do an Arcana check? Do you want to do an Arcana check and see what it is?
Sure, it's not going to go badly.
I will just aid you by looking it over.
I would also like to make an Arcana check on it because I've been staring at this for a while now.
Yeah, sure.
If Kino is aiding me, does that advantage?
Yeah, you would have advantage on it.
21.
All right, it's a scroll of Revivify. You do not have to use components for this, obviously.
Oh, cool. We have 2 now.
Well, that's super helpful.
So all of that was just to get a free scroll of Revivify?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Who
it's
was
pretty
that
useful.
guy?
I don't
Why
know,
did
but
he-
I'm gonna take my own flute out and just play it for a little bit and be like, it's way better when you can touch all the buttons on your own and play it properly.
Yeah. So, Henri, the only thing that you know, you got a 21, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you notice that there are extra glyphs and extra characters on the scroll of Revivify. You have no idea what they do. And it is not the same Revivify that like you would like once you talk to brother and everything. It's modified in some capacity. You don't know how, as no one has really gone through and cast that yet. If you were to cast it and you could see the subtle differences, then you would know what these extra glyphs are. But there's other information in the scroll. But Revivify is the spell that you can identify on it.
Okay, so like kind of tilting her head while staring at the scroll, she will say out loud to the party, "It's Revivify, but there's something different about it. I can't tell what it is though. But there's something else in here too."
That
Excellent
definitely
discussion.
seems strange.
Yeah, if we need a scroll, we might want to use the other one first until we can figure out what the extra stuff is.
Seems reasonable to me.
Grin is just confused. He doesn't know what just happened.
So, are we gonna hang out here and take a short rest, or is somebody gonna heal
Kylan, are
me
you
from
okay?
this
I
acid
thought
damage that I took from you guys?
I thought
I
brother
think
was healing
brother,
you. Yeah.
yeah,
Brother
brother's
is
gonna heal
going
you.
to
Yeah,
he's
brother will
going
heal you.
to cast. Gosh, look at all these cleric spells. He is going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Thanks, Tyler.
You're
That
welcome.
is 2d8 plus 7.
Hey now.
Just so you guys know, because after level 10, this all gets really terrible anyway. I am looking at
19.
something that's in basically it's in like beta right now. I don't know if it'll ever get released, but what it does is it doesn't change hit points at all. It groups them up into wounds. So what that means is that somebody with like 130 hit points would technically have 13 wounds, and what it does is it doesn't change the overall like action economy, but it does very like descriptively change how your character does seek its damage. So for instance, someone with like a wizard with 30 hit points,
I have 50,
and by the
excuse
way, that
you.
you still do the well, right? But in this case, let's say to make it easy, let's say you have three, so you have 30 wounds. It's basically
I
hit
have
them in
3
tens.
HP and 30
So
wounds.
yeah, you basically still take the same damage. Like all the rolls are the same. What ends up happening though is that once you reach certain thresholds in damage, it becomes like, for instance, once you're down to one wound or two wounds, depending on your con modifier, that's when your armor actually starts like getting shredded and stuff. And mending always gets it back, but if you go into combat in certain like there's a whole thing. It's actually very very cool because it makes combat way more descriptive. The downside is that if like there's only one downside of this, and that's if you go into combat after combat after combat and you're just healing through it, you need to have like 10-15 minutes where mending becomes really important because you have to reseal your armor and stuff like that. That's the only thing that they're playing with right now. The other things though is that it makes more sense because so for instance, like that thing that you just touched, a normal human would obviously die from that. They would touch it, like a farmer would touch that with its 8 hit points or 12 hit points, and they would be incredibly like completely consumed. But when you break it down to wounds, what's really actually happening is that as your characters get more powerful, between what the abstraction were with HP anyway, like luck and like your determination and depending on when it actually hits you or not. Instead, it's just these things like two wounds it would be enough to basically like chop a hand off or something. But it's just grouped in descriptors. Like I said, the only downside is the combat downtime because once you get to like one or two wounds, you do have basically get your armor shredded unless you have magic armor that can reseal itself. We'll talk about all this later, but after level 10, this becomes way more important because you'll see, I'm sure people have played in campaigns after level 10, this stuff becomes kind of dumb. Level 15 is actually the
I
worst.
haven't.
15 to 20 is particularly bad, but anyway, so all right. So so anyway, uh so Private Sanctum is still up by the way, but Fentrix at this point if you want you can come back. You've had enough time.
Yeah. Totally. I'll come back in. And
Uh,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead. I was gonna ask something else, but finish your thought.
Well, I was going to say because I've had the fine clothes on me since probably when I created Fentrix. They'd be more tailored to represent his family, so they would have the crest that his family kind of went by, at least in Neverwinter, or because they held themselves to some regard with the business they ran. It's basically like a crescent moon with several stars below it, just kind of in a straight line. However, there's also kind of like the silhouette of, well, not a silhouette, but it almost looks like a dragon skull that's like right to the left of where the crescent moon would be. That's kind of embroidered on it. But other than that, it's all normal, like fine clothes that you guys would see everywhere else.
Do I recognize that family crest at all?
I don't think you would necessarily.
He's from Neverwinter, so if that matters at all, Chris.
Yeah, I mean your family was not like super famous. You can try to make a history check, and if it's obscure, like if you roll high, you would know his obscure nobility. But I mean, Fintrick's family was like nothing super special in Neverwinter.
Nope, that's gonna be a 17 total.
Yeah.
All right, well, it feels weird
Would
not
I-
being weighed down by a ton of heavy armor.
Would I?
Tyler first.
No, I was just gonna say, from the time I lived in Neverwinter, would I be able to do the check?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
now
just
Tom.
obscure.
Nah, 16.
Yeah.
Tom?
No.
Yeah, Chris, I have a question about the
Yep.
gold again. So we got paid a bunch of gold by Neverember after we left the tomb and went back to him, right?
That's right. That is correct.
And his gold coins must be stamped in a certain way, right?
So the Neverember gold coins are different from the gold coins in the tomb. Absolutely. Because the
Okay.
gold coins, so the gold coins that Neverember paid you are of the official currency of Neverember. If you remember those gold coins, a description, those gold coins are actually not even from this plane of existence. They're from Greyhawk. I don't think I ever told you guys that, but they have a very distinct look. Yeah.
So can I separate any gold
Yes.
by just visually that way?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do out of game, do we have any way of knowing how much gold was one and how much is the other?
Well, I Neverember did give you a specific amount. I'll have to go back and look at my notes though, because I don't actually remember off the top of my head how much he gave you. But yes, I thought it was in. Hold on, I can tell you.
I'm actually going to also put in the gold that I have on my person into the pile.
You can sort those out. Yes, you can definitely sort those through. So
Why do I have 30
Grin, I'll
electrum?
go. You have Electrum?
I have 30 electrum. Why?
It's pretty cool.
It's so strange.
Grin, I'll go with you. Fentrix, you just rest here. I can keep a pretty low profile.
I'm
It
just
doesn't say in the session notes how much money he gave us.
yeah, I'm sure I have it. I'm looking.
I will double check.
You guys do see the apparition come back, and it says, "Hello, my name is Gale, and I've noticed you have not resurrected me. Why?"
Where's your body?
He says, "Well, my body should be next to you, where I died."
Are you the bear?
He says, "Sir, I am not a bear."
Well, that's the only
No.
dead thing in the room.
He said, "Oh, this is terribly embarrassing." He said, "No, I'm sure the spell works properly, and I'm sure you are next to me wherever I died. Please, for reasons I cannot disclose, it would be vitally bad for the realm as a whole if I were to be left dead. Please
Well,
revive me as soon as possible."
What's your last name?
You can see the room, right? You can like see the room we're in.
It's a pre-recorded message.
He says, "Actually, I can't."
What's your last name, Gale?
He said, "Hi, my name is Gale. I notice you haven't resurrected me yet. However, it is vitally important for the realms as a whole, for reasons that I cannot disclose to you, that you do resurrect me."
Grin is gonna bang
Gale
his head
is
on the
dying.
wall.
What
He
happens
says,
if we don't?
He says, "I have died close to you clearly as you have seen this message."
What happens if we don't resurrect you?
I'm gonna
He,
go.
he looks to you and he says, "Well, for reasons vitally important that I cannot disclose, it would be bad for all the realms if I were to stay dead. Therefore, please take the flute and the other scroll. Make sure you cut it counterclockwise. Don't touch it.
We did that
Play."
part already.
He says, "Hi, my name is Gale, and it's of vital
Oh
importance."
God.
He disappears.
Grin
Should
bangs his head on the wall.
Can I look under the bed to see if there's anything? Because all right, so let's say he died here and was under something. Can I look under the bed to see if there's a dead body down there?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and do an investigation check, and also Henri and Amber, you can both do Arcana checks again to see if you can figure out what's going on.
I got a 17.
There's nothing under the bed, or it doesn't. And as you start going through and looking, it doesn't look like there's any body in here at all.
17.
17. You guys don't know. You have no idea what's going on. This is very confusing. It doesn't make any sense. Clearly, he set up some kind of spell to go off if he died. However, the first time the spell went through was for a different condition anyway. So the only thing that you can think of is that maybe it's just not working properly, but you don't know why. You don't know how it would have found you either. So
We're taking a rest in here, right, guys? That's
Once
settled.
we figure all this stuff out, yeah.
So, can I fold the thing up in the bear rug? If I just fold the bear rug over and just close the thing, you think that'll muffle his voice?
well, he's not actually appearing on the bear rug. He actually appears in this corner right here. It's just an apparition. It's like an ethereal apparition.
It's even more annoying trying to sleep through that then.
Kino, can I see that weird house you got?
I'm actually looking it over. I was gonna do some checks once it calms down.
Do you have the gem still?
I do have the gem. Would you like to see the gem? Here you go.
Don't I have to attune to it?
You do.
I
I'm
can't-
not currently attuned to it.
I mean, I can't attune to it, so I'm just gonna ask Butterball for her assistance then.
Kylena, would you like? I hold up.
The gem?
Yeah, you just hold it up to your eye like so. After attuning to it for about an hour.
Sure, that'd be quite useful in my line of work.
Yep.
That gem is going to give you true sight, and you'll have a number of charges for it. So.
And if she spends the hour attuning to that, I just want to, and if Grin doesn't leave, I want to kind of reach out to this item that I'm holding. I don't know if I need to attune to it, but I just kind of want to interface with it.
Sure. Yeah.
Grin is busy. Grin is busy sorting his gold.
Oh yeah, you dumped it on the bed, right? So I'm not going to be on the bed.
I'm gonna be investigating as much of the building as I can with Butterball, trying to see if there's a body hidden somewhere, if it might be invisible or something.
Yeah, go ahead and do an investigation check for the whole thing, and then we'll see how long it takes you. Yeah, it's just going to depend on how long it takes you to go through all of it.
Were you guys fine with me attuning to the necklace?
My
Or did you
God.
want to talk about that for a later discussion? Was that?
Chris, that's a
Hey,
nat
that's
20.
good.
Okay. All right. So you'll be able to go through and find this in basically you're going to be able
That's
to
a
case
total
the
of
entire house.
28.
Yeah, in less than an hour you can go through the whole thing. You're really good right now at going through and turning over objects and stuff. So we'll get to you in an hour. But yeah, that's what you're doing currently. You're
See
going
you
through
all
the
in an
whole house.
hour.
Yep. So if there is anything hidden in this place, you're going to be able to find it. Anyway,
I find 3 magic items.
And what did you say, Fintrix?
Oh, I was asking them if I took the necklace back or if we pocketed it, because we went from I forgot that we accidentally interrupted Tyler and Amber, and then didn't finish the conversation we were having about the necklace.
Yeah, Henri, you would know that this requires a very intelligent person, and if you use it and you're not intelligent, it's probably going to be bad for everyone.
Do you need a 20 intelligence?
It doesn't require. There is no requirement on it, but if you look at the item, if you fail the check,
Tom,
which is
you
a
are
20,
so lucky.
bad things happen. Bad things are going to happen.
You are so lucky we're in the middle of a session, Tom.
Yep.
I'm just gonna scrap Honor and come in with a new wizard that's in 20 so people stop making fun of me.
Yeah. All right. Does
But I'm
anyone
sorry.
else want to do anything while Henri is looking through the whole house and
What item needs to be used?
he's talking
scroll?
about the Elminsters, item.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
He wants to know if somebody wants to take that or not.
Okay.
Yeah, we were mid conversation about the necklace, and then we went back to what Tyler and Amber were saying because you and I totally interrupted them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
because I was like, if you guys want to hold on to it, you can. But if no one cares for it immediately, then I'd just attune to it myself before I laid down.
If you are given it by some kind of higher power, then you hang on to it.
It's up to all of you. If all of you are okay with it, then I'll take it.
Yeah. Once Fintrix uses it, the whole party goes with him. So it's all
Oh,
good.
far enough
Just
away,
don't use it
be-
yet.
But you're not. Yeah, you're not going to use it. You're just going to tune to
Yeah,
it, right?
just gonna tune to it.
Well-
and then in
Yeah,
case of
yeah.
emergency.
Fentrix, you know I think you're wonderful, but I wouldn't say you're wonderful because of your intelligence.
Wow.
I would say there's a lot of other things you are masterful at, but I think there's that I I think you shouldn't use that item.
That's fair enough.
Put it in the bag for now, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll go. Okay, so I did find seed. Yeah, that was the last thing I had to do. Then I can have him go take a nap and take a short rest or however long we're here. I was
Okay,
gonna do
cool.
it in the room you guys are in, but if you have all of Grin's cursed gold still on the bed, then that doesn't.
Well,
me.
yeah. Could I have sorted my gold by now?
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you sort the gold. Yep.
Okay.
It looks like Never Ember gave you 5,000 gold, but I'm still trying to look for it. So
Yeah, that's what I thought it was 5,000.
So
I'm just 1,000 of that. If it was split up evenly, some of it's lost to Johnny, but
and eyes.
yep, Johnny and I's exactly.
So it's 5,000 divided by 7.
Yep.
Oh, were you S? Oh, sorry.
About 714.
It'd be like that, and then a couple copper pieces for each person.
Yeah, and you guys never went through exchange. It would just be like somebody has a little more gold, somebody has a little less by 1 or 2 gold. Yep.
Did my parents give me back the money I gave them?
No, they actually said that they actually were very vague about the money when you sent it. They didn't say anything. Remember? Well, they said that they acknowledged it, but they also told you around that same time they became pretty successful. So you should ask them about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how much of my gold is cursed and how much is not cursed. And I'm trying to backtrack where I've gotten and spent gold this whole time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You haven't spent much is the good news. Brother definitely did. He spent the most gold out of the whole party.
Yes, he
Well,
did.
right now I have 760 gold, and I don't know where I got that much.
Why don't you be safe and cut it in half?
Well,
Which again, I don't know if that conversation was in or out of character.
Chris, can I safely say that at least half my gold is never ember
Yeah.
gold?
Yeah, that's fine. You
Okay,
can do that.
that's
all
okay.
fine. Yeah, if you want to take 350 of it and make that safe gold, that's fine.
Okay, I'm happy with that. At least gives me a number. Okay, I'm going. Grin says, "I'm going to see my parents and then track down the priest of Iron Hand. Who wants to come with me?"
You hear a
I'll
muffled
go with-
good luck from somewhere else.
in the hour of attuning, did anything happen? Chris?
Chris?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so you can successfully attune to the item if you'd like. It does glow like a brighter purple when you attune to it. Um, but there's no like visual benefit or anything.
All right, I am. So when I tuned to it, I just at the same time I was deattuning to the book of demonic dragons and other various terrible creatures. So I
Yep.
am now attuned to this item instead.
What are you attuning to?
Don't worry about it. All right, and this item that we found,
What item?
the tower.
Do you know what it is?
You show them the tower.
Yeah, it's just I hold it up, little.
Yeah, so
What's in the tower?
it's this tower that's basically 9 inches tall. It's not just a smooth tower because it has it carved into this obsidian, which by the way has a very deep, like almost like powerful purple within it because it actually glows very faintly purple from the inside, even though it looks at the first glance like it's just black obsidian. Um, there are little alcoves and little windows and stuff carved into it. Um, and by the way, they're very small details, tiny details. So it looks like it's actually like almost like a tower, but it would be sharp, right? Because there's so many tiny details of this obsidian glass that if you were to like take it and roll this over your skin, it probably cuts you with all these really like ornate details that it has inside of it. Plus, you can actually see the bricks carved out in this tower too. At the very top, there is what looks like a little cage, a little crystal cage, where the tower would be at the top of basically like a wizard's tower, and inside the crystal cage is just nothing. And then there's a top, and the top of the tower is just like kind of like a small circular like cone with a couple little jutting out things of like chimneys and other things as well.
You're attuning to an item you don't even know what it does. Where'd you get this?
It fell from the sky.
And you're just attuning to it?
Well, I mean, look at things that have fallen from the sky. We've had a pretty good track record with them.
Do you know what it does?
I have a pretty good idea.
What does it do?
I have no idea.
So, do you have a pretty good idea or do you have no idea?
Well, I don't think it's going to hurt us.
That's not. Can you answer my question
Not
the way
really.
I asked it? Do you have no idea or do you have a pretty good idea?
Also, here, I'll show you it's not cursed. You can hold it for. You can hold it. I hand it over to you
Yeah.
for a second.
I don't really want to touch it. I don't want to
Okay,
touch your 9-inch long, 3-inch
the
girthy,
girth.
purple vibrating whatever it is.
That's fine. I mean,
I just thought of something. guys.
What do you think it does?
Chris, did I glean any other information once I tuned to it?
Yeah, so it does actually make you smarter. So this item will actually make you smarter. It's going to give you
Man,
a
can
plus
I have it?
+1 to your intelligence.
I hate this guy.
And then the only other thing that it does
Oh
is
no!
that when you
Oh,
hold up the
no.
item, when you hold up the item to show it to Grin as well, Grin, you see this too. There is a small like winged creature that's trapped within this thing, and it flutters very briefly. It's glowing as well, but it goes back into the bottom of it. So it has a creature of some kind inside of it.
I had no
Kino,
idea. What?
Why do you continue to be secretive about this shit? Didn't we
I-
just go through a whole problem with you being secretive about shit?
No, I just figured this out. By tuning to it, I figured out what it does because this is incredibly. I think it has like maybe a sentience to it or something that I kind of have to like work with it to figure out what it does. It's somewhat of a puzzle. I feel a little smarter.
Where did it come from?
It came from like the heavens. I don't
From
know.
okay, who sent it?
I think Tiamat.
No, I think wild guess
Maybe.
it was the dead mage that sent it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it had something to do with him, but
Maybe
Who?
he's the thing inside.
Or maybe you know what? Maybe it is the dead mage, Gale.
Oh my god, I'm going alone. You can stay here and
Wait.
and play with your vibrating tower.
Wait, no, I put it in my backpack. Wait, it's not safe for you to go alone. Hold on.
Hold this. Get this. Take this.
I stand this.
You
I
got
stand
that.
up. I stand up and I cast disguise self.
Pet dog gif.
Yep. You can. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna look like a plain human with kind of long dark hair
And
and
you're
kind of
pink.
just like. Well, no, this overrides the pink, doesn't it?
It does. Disguise self will override the pink for now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I will just kind of look like a human farmhand. Uh,
You're using the
just
spell, right? You're not using a disguise kit. You're using the
no,
spell.
I'm using the spell disguise self.
Yeah, then it works. Yeah.
Or I guess my clothes would be the same, but I just look like a general guard,
Yeah.
but just very like kind of low born with plate mail.
Chris, I would like to open this door.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Just gonna take a nap on the bed with the ambush drake. Me and my dog.
Gross.
So, can I like investigate that tower while you're gone, or do you need to take that with you?
You know.
Um, take what you? I mean, the ring you can hold on to. Brother has it.
I said the tower.
Oh, I'm gonna hold on to the tower. But once I get back and we're heading out, we can investigate it further.
Yeah, why don't you stay here and play with your tower?
I want to go with. I already cast the spell.
All right. So while they're doing all of that, it hasn't even your hour isn't even up on ring, and you do find behind one of the bookcases there is what looks like a small key. The key is made out of glass, and on the inside of this key's only 4 or 5 inches, but in it's see through, except for there's a very 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 small what looks like metal like carving on the inside where the in the middle of the key, and that small metal carving looks like it is of a small metal man that's lying in the center of the key. But that's the only thing you were able to find. You've never seen anything like this. You think it's probably some kind of magic item though. Just from the fact that it doesn't have any dust on it, it was slammed up behind the bookcase. Probably should have shattered by now if it was made out of glass. You put all those together to think that maybe this is magic.
Can I bring it back to the room and start ritual casting identify on it?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And I found nothing else.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Grin heads out.
Okay. All right, good. You going to see your parents?
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not being watched by Zentarum, though.
Yeah, so do me a huge favor. Just do a perception check. It's later at night anyway at this point. It's now like 6, 7 o'clock. Go and do a perception check.
Yeah, I got a 6.
All right, that's
Okay.
fine. You don't see anyone looking over. You don't see any Zentarum. You do see Zentarum busily, obviously still like up the mountain, like looking over everything, but you don't see anybody following you at this point.
Can I also do a check because I'm walking with Grin?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Nope.
Okay,
Not one.
great. Okay.
God damn it.
All right. Well, it is getting dark outside, and
Thank you, God.
you
You just
guys are
got around and make
also
it smarter.
you guys are also trying your best to like look nonchalant while looking over there, so you don't see anyone. All right, so you just want to go over and knock on the door.
Yes.
All right, they're actually inside, not outside. Okay. Um, all right, if you go through and knock on the door, your dad comes to the door and he says, Gren, what happened? We got really worried. We heard that you guys like were gonna go and just like basically go next door, but I looked, you weren't there, and
He
all
he
hell's
sh-
broken
he,
loose again at the mine.
he like shush 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 shush, and he does that like hand gesture that keep your voice down.
Yep.
Listen, some shit's going down. I think you guys are fine because the Zentarum, I guess, are here, with permission. And I don't think the Zentarum are like evil, right, Kino?
Says, yeah, he said the mayor made some kind of deal with these people. Yeah, I've heard that name before too. I don't know why
But
they're so weird about telling us who they are, but yeah, that's what I've heard as well. I actually had a friend go back to Neverwinter, and he said that they use them. They use the Zentarum for all kinds of things, so they're probably safe.
Yeah, you guys are probably fine, but we need to get out of town. Some other people may or may not be looking for us, and they're kind of trouble. Um, listen, do you have that gold that I sent you, or the platinum actually that I sent you?
He said, yeah, but actually, I don't think we've even spent it.
Okay, can I just look at it real quick? Well, no, platinum's not cursed, right? It's just gold.
Yeah, it's just the gold. Yeah.
Okay, you guys are probably fine. You should spend it. I don't know. Do whatever. Listen, I just wanted to tell you that I'm leaving, and I don't know when I'll ever come back.
You're leaving already?
Yeah, we have to
I said,
go.
oh, your mom's gonna be so sad. You should just stay. At this
Hey,
point, just stay. Everything's fine. Yeah,
is
your
she?
mom's in here. She's gonna come out. Hold on 1 second. Uh, yeah, she does. She does come out, and she says, "Oh, it's Grin." She said, "Wait, what? What? You're leaving?"
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
she said,
wish I
"Grin,
could stay.
everything's fine now. You could just stay here. It's fine. Look."
I I would really like to stay,
Yeah, she said, "Just stay." And
but I can't.
your dad says, "Yeah, no, it's fine, son. You can stay now." And like no one even remembers. And by the way, he said he looks at you, and he says, you guys didn't have anything to do with what happened at the mine, though, right?"
No, I don't know what's going on with the mine. I obviously don't go over
He
there.
says, "Oh." I was telling your mom, I was like, okay, yeah, I told her that of course you guys didn't have anything to do with it, but that's a huge sigh of relief. Great, wonderful.
Yeah, no, obviously I don't want to go anywhere near there.
Yeah, great.
Listen, do you know where the old priest for Iron Hand lives?
Said, yeah. He said, yeah. He lives. He points it out. I'll show you on the map, but he points out to where his house is.
Chris, can I just when they said like no, you should stay, we want you to stay, can I just insight check them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep. Go for it.
15?
I have to oppose, but hold on. Yeah, you get the impression that they genuinely do want Grin to stay now that the only reason why they probably wanted Grin to leave so badly before had to do with the fact that so many people died and it was a messy, terrible situation. They probably feel guilty about that, and they do genuinely want Grin to stay now.
So yeah, do you guys know where the old priest of
Yeah.
Iron Hand lives?
So they point you. If you look at my stream, they point you in the direction of this house here, Grin.
Hold on, I gotta bring up your stream.
Yeah, it's fine. Here, I'll show you. It's this house here, and we are right there.
Okay, so like across town.
Yeah, let me change the appropriate. Yep. Yeah. So it's across town over here.
Listen, I have I have a couple of things that I need to take care of with my party. I don't know how long they'll take, or if I'll even survive through them. But if I do, I'll come back, and if it's okay, I can just live here.
As you say that, your dad like nudges you as you say survive them because it's very clear your mom's like really upset over that. And she like has a tear in her eye and she just says, "Corinne, you should just stay here."
We'll take good care of them. I promise.
I really wish I could stay.
Yeah, and your dad comforts his wife and he basically says, "No, honey, you gotta let him have his own time. He's gotta let him have his own destiny." And he's like consoling your mom. And as he does that and goes through all of this, Grin, you notice that if you stay around, you're gonna make things worse, especially for your mom. So
Okay, I have to go now. I love you guys. Goodbye.
yep, yeah, your dad says we love you too, son. Your mom's kind of like really upset at this point. because she doesn't want to think about you like doing things dangerously, and she just got you back. But they go inside, and your dad starts consoling her. But he says goodbye. And your mom runs up before you leave and hugs you, um, and then they go back in. And so
Grin,
it
Grin is
is right over here. Yeah.
yeah. Grin's gonna be walking as fast as he can ahead of Kino, so that he can like wipe tears from his face without her being able to see.
Yep.
Grin.
Yep. And as you walk up, what do you want to do? Do you want to knock on the door because he's not outside?
Yeah, I knock on the door.
Okay. All right. Cool. You surprisingly don't get a response back.
Oh, shit. Is the door open?
Do you want to see if it's unlocked?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is unlocked.
I just opened the door to like call inside. Like I would remember his name, right? The priest.
Yep.
Yeah, I open the door. I don't go inside. I just call through the door, like, "Hey, priest,"
Yeah.
whatever his
Yeah.
name is.
Yeah, so you go through and you call out, but before you call out his name to go through and like look inside, you notice that his house is completely empty. There's nothing here but a fireplace. The fireplace is on, but there's nothing else inside this house.
And I don't get any kind of response. I'm assuming.
Nothing.